How are you doing today, my lovely people? Today is another great day that God have made for us to witness and see the light of the day. Man, this very message that you are about to listen is a great message of redemption. Somebody so dear to me sent me this link and I watched this video more than good times. I never get tired of watching this video. The message you're about to listen is a message that is going to turn your life around. I don't care the religion you belong to. Yes, because what you're about to watch is something that the world have missing. Yes, this Imam of Peace is a man that the world needs at this difficult time. Please, if you know any Nigerian Muslim, anybody who believed in Muslim so dearly, whether Christian, whether Judaism or whatever, any religion, invite that person. Let that person come close, because this message is a message that is going to change the world completely. Man, what are you waiting for? But before we watch this great message, I want you to do one thing. If you don't have data to watch this video to the very end of it, please do well to skip this video, or better still, go and borrow, because the message you're about to hear is capable of changing you for good. Without wasting much of your time, let's watch the video. Don't go anywhere.
Imam Tawhidi, what a joy to meet you and finally shake your hand, sir. Do you think that Islamists should be executed, Imam?
I fully support the Gulf's position and the fatwas against the Muslim Brotherhood. Fully support. Osama bin Laden belonged to that organization. Fully support him being taken down. Khamenei being taken out. Totally support it. And I thank God for it. Khamenei says he has a mandate from God, and based on that mandate, he executed and mowed down tens and tens and tens and tens of thousands of Iranians and non-Iranians. And we're seeing now the region is in absolute chaos. Iran is sending a very dangerous message that if it doesn't get what it wants, it's going to destroy the entire region. And this is unacceptable. God is the God of peace, not the God of executions and butchering and nonsense Hamas or Houthi or Al-Qaeda or Bin Laden. What is this garbage? What kind of a religion is this? It's not a religion, these are organizations. Why is it that when Khamenei spoke, people saw him as an Islamic leader? But when, for example, the president of the UAE speaks, no one says, wow, what a Muslim leader. One country sends its rockets to Mars, and one country sends its rockets to its neighbors. We're not the same.
My name is Stefan Thompson. I'm the founder of Visagrad24, and today I'm in Brussels to interview a very special man. He goes by the Imam of Peace online. He's been active for many years. He's a man whose work I have followed. Imam Tawhidi, what a joy to meet you and finally shake your hand, sir.
Pleasure meeting you as well. Thank you for the invite.
Do you think that Islamists should be executed, Imam?
If someone comes to us with a Muslim Brotherhood ideology and says that it is in his view we need to change, otherwise he would kill us, in whatever format that may be, through setting up organizations or outright violence, as we see, they cannot exist in the same society as we exist. I'm really sorry. I fully support the Gulf's position and the fatwas against the Muslim Brotherhood. Fully support it. Osama bin Laden belonged to that organization. Fully support him being taken down. Not only that, I also support the other flavors of the Muslim Brotherhood, such as Khamenei being taken out. Totally support it. And I thank God for it. And I will meet my Lord with this belief system, that these people are all worse than Satan. Because Satan, who's God's #1 enemy in our tradition, in our religion, he made himself very clear. He says, I am the enemy of God, I will misguide people. Khamenei says, no, he has a mandate from God. And based on that mandate, he executed and mowed down tens and tens and tens and tens of thousands of Iranians and non-Iranians. And we're seeing now the region is in absolute chaos. There are countries around Iran, by the way, that have American presence, that have American embassies. But Iran will not attack those embassies. They're now attacking Gulf states. Why? Because this ideology tells you that your blood is very cheap. If I don't get what I want, and I am about to go down, then everyone will go down with me.
Khamenei was part of the Muslim Brotherhood, Imam?
Okay, so Khamenei is a Shi'i Islamist. The Muslim Brotherhood is a Sunni Islamist organization which hijacked Sunni Islam. They have nothing to do with Sunni Islam. They hijacked Sunni Islam. UAE is Sunni. Look at the difference between the two. Khamenei is a Shia. When Khamenei was in prison as a young man, he ordered a book, and it was the Quranic interpretation written by Sayyid Qutb, one of the founders of the Muslim Brotherhood. So Khamenei was influenced by the Muslim Brotherhood from a very young age. And that's why you see he is very aligned with Hamas. He was aligned with Hamas, aligned with these, harboring terrorists within Iran and their leaders. If someone is born Shia, it does not mean they follow Shia Islam. At the end of the day, he was a politician, and above all, he was a deceiver. He was like the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh and Khamenei shared many commonalities. The Pharaoh claimed to be God. Khamenei claims to be the sign of God. Ayatollah, Ayah and Allah, the sign of God. He claimed to be the sign of God, the verse of God, and the supreme Islamic leader. A made-up position. What supreme Islamic leader? What? Islamic leader of over what? 2 billion Muslims? Who gave you that right to be the Islamic leader over the Sunni world, which is 85%, if not 90% Sunni? Who gave you that right? Right? 90 million Iranians don't even follow you. And you want to claim to be the supreme Islamic leader with all these titles that have legal consequences. Because if you were to say, you don't like Khamenei's face, that's a violation of Islam according to them, because he is the deputy of the Savior. He is the deputy of God on earth. And it's nonsense. He's not a deputy of anyone but Satan.
Should people have diplomatic relations? Should countries have diplomatic relations with the Islamists in Tehran?
No.
You think that the Western world and the Gulf world and all countries should break diplomatic relations with the Islamists in Tehran?
I think no new relations and a serious consideration of existing relations. Look, some countries, this is not a conversation. If the Iranian diaspora is on your side, like in the UAE, all the Iranians hate the regime back home, and they need to renew their passports. They need the embassy there so that they can have their residency renewed. Right? The passport needs to be valid so your local residency card can be valid. What do you do here? Currently, the UAE is being attacked, right, by Iran. And again, there are debates whether Iran is targeting the UAE or if it's shrapnel falling. Point is, it's a violation of its sovereignty, right, and should be condemned. But the Iranian diaspora is siding with the UAE, and they're praying for its well-being, and they're cursing the regime back home. So if these people are an asset to you, economically, socially, they give to the country more than what they take. So it's a very serious conversation to be had. But if you're a country like Canada, right, where you don't rely on a diaspora and you have a very large population. So we stood by former Prime Minister Stephen Harper's decision to shut down the Iranian embassy in Ottawa, and it's still shut down till today.
The Ayatollah and his regime has been bombing numerous countries. I mean, they've bombed Bahrain, they've bombed the UAE, they've bombed Qatar, they've targeted Cyprus even. Why are they doing this? Why are they bombing? I understand that they refer to the USA as the big Satan, and Israel is in the Ayatollah's ideology was the little Satan, and there is a great animosity between the Islamists in Tehran and the US and Israel. But there hasn't been a massive animosity between Iran and Gulf countries. There have been fairly stable relations in some ways.
And in many ways, the Gulf states actually saved Iran from being hurt in the past by Israel and by the United States. They've intervened in the past, especially Oman. And what lesson did Oman learn? That appeasement doesn't work. You're not dealing with communists in Tehran. You're not dealing with socialists. You're dealing with mullahs who have an ideology. And in their vision, everyone else is a Western puppet. That's their vision. Everyone else is a Western puppet, and they will be dragged into this war, and they need to go and pressure America to stop the attacks on Tehran. That's what they're trying to do.
So by bombing Gulf countries, they're trying to convince those Gulf countries to intervene on their behalf and end the war?
One of these strategies, I believe, is this, yes. But also, Iran is sending a very dangerous message that if it doesn't get what it wants, it's going to destroy the entire region. And this is unacceptable. Unacceptable. Because again, you're not dealing with communists. This is the ideology of Wilayat al-Faqih, the authority of the jurist, where this cleric has, supposedly has this divine mandate from God. So how do you reason with that?
You can't reason with that. It's
in the United Nations, we sit in the United Nations. Who comes to the United Nations? Kings, presidents, chairmen of political parties, right? What is supreme Islamic leader appointed from God Almighty? That is not a recognized position in the international community. And you know what's hilarious? They have a president and they have elections. What's the point? If you have elections and then the elected guy gets up, goes to Tehran, kisses the ring of the Grand Ayatollah Khamenei and says, whatever you rule, I follow. What was the point of elections? It's a scam. The scam of scams.
What do you wish for the Iranian people, Imam?
Number one, because I'm not Iranian.
Sure.
I was born in Iran, but I'm an Arab. And Arab clerics are very different from Iranian clerics. We believe in freedom. We believe in living honorable lives. We believe in having good relations. We believe in trade. We believe in technology. We like to speak about AI. We don't have time for this nonsense, 72 virgins and martyrdom. And we don't have time naming our streets after martyrs. And no need for that. Befriending the Taliban, supporting the Houthis. Nonsense. We don't have time. My wish for Iran, above all, freedom. Secondly, the right to choose a leader. They need to choose a leader. They should have that right that is genuine. The vote is sacred. Iranians should vote for their leader. And three, they need to be given the opportunity to rise and shine. You know the amount of art and science and technology that will come out of Iran the minute it is free? You know how much this world will benefit? How wonderful the region will be? You know, we now are prevented from having scientists in our universities, surgeons, inventors. We need them in the Gulf. We need them in America. We need them. Look at the health situation in Canada, for example. We need these doctors. These are the real doctors and engineers and lawyers, not the imported garbage, with all due respect, that would be in prison in some Muslim countries. These are the good people that need to be given a voice. That's my wish for Iran. Total freedom. And for the Iranian women to rise and shine. One of the most oppressed species is the Iranian woman. 50 years can't even walk the street in peace. 50 years being dragged by her hair and put into a green van. And we saw what happened with Mahsa Amini. 50 years. No God accepts this. No God wants His book to be used as a constitution that oppresses. God sent His books to guide us, not to rule over us with a sword. There's a fundamental understanding here about religion, that it is there to guide. God is the God of peace, not the God of executions and butchering and nonsense Hamas or Houthi or Al-Qaeda or Bin Laden. What is this garbage? What kind of a religion is this? There's not a religion, these are organizations. Real Islam means unity. Here's what burns my heart. Why is it that when Khamenei spoke, people saw him as an Islamic leader? But when, for example, the president of the UAE speaks, no one says, wow, what a Muslim leader. When the president of the UAE speaks, you know what he speaks about? Establishing a ministry of happiness and appointing a woman to lead that ministry. How can we take Arabs to the moon? You know what? Leave the moon. We're going to go to Mars. One country sends its rockets to Mars, and one country sends its rockets to its neighbors. We're not the same. Yes, we believe that there is one God, and we believe that the Prophet Muhammad was sent by God, but some people saw in religion the best tool to hijack and manipulate the masses, and that is the Muslim Brotherhood. So I want to see a region that believes we need an Abrahamic family house in every city. What the UAE did was phenomenal, historic. Church, synagogue, and a mosque next to each other. This is not the invention of a new religion. This is showing what religion is actually meant to be. Brotherhood, harmony, coexistence. That's what I want to see. No time for this nonsense or terrorist organizations. They've wasted our time and our resources and tarnished the reputation of not just the religion, but the region.
One of the countries in the region that has been fairly problematic has been Qatar. And Qatar is a very interesting one because Doha is a shiny city with incredible skyscrapers. Qatar Airways is an incredible airline. But the Qataris, despite investing in major real estate, Harrods in London, PSG in Paris, they have also been harboring a number of terrorists, and they have been funding mega mosques around Europe, as well as spreading Islamism through Al Jazeera. What is your opinion about the Qataris, and why are they, despite being such a wealthy country that could be another UAE, forward-thinking and enlightened, why have they chosen this path of Islamism?
To be a UAE, you need leaders like Sheikh Zayed, not money. You can have all the money in the world. If you don't have a leader like Sheikh Zayed, the founder of this current union, this federation, you will never have a UAE. You need someone with that wisdom. We no longer have women that give birth to leaders like the leaders of the UAE, with all due respect. Those women, they don't make them anymore. What we have now is women who give birth to Yahya Sinwar or this nonsense. We need those legendary rulers with a vision beyond the region, vision for good. That's what we need to have a UAE, which is what you see today. You think this came because Americans decided to invest? They can't have the UAE in their own country. They invest in America. They don't have a city like the UAE in America. This is not investment. This is true leadership, Muslim leadership. And if there are countries in the region that are problematic, rest assured they are not leaders in the region. We have in geostrategy and geopolitics categories for countries. Countries that are players in the region and countries that are pivots. Saudi Arabia and the UAE are leaders in the region. They are what geopolitically known as players in the region. And then you have countries that are pivots and countries that bandwagon on other countries. Incentives, maritime incentives, economic incentives, and whatnot. A country that is not a player, not a leader in the region, no matter what it does, it will continue to have less impact than the country that is a leader in the region. The country that decides to sign the Abraham Accords, that is the leader in the region.